In Paraguay, the two major contending parties are wrapping up their campaigns for Sunday's presidential elections. In Haiti, a police crackdown on criminal gangs in underway. In Port-au-Prince, police reporting over 20 kidnapping cases solved and the seizure of illegal weapons. In Sudan, the evacuation of civilians progresses while the clashes continue, with at least 512 dead and more than 4,000 wounded. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We begin with the news. Stay with us. In Paraguay, the two major contending parties are wrapping up their campaigns for presidential elections to be held next Sunday, with the expected participation of 4.7 million voters. Opposition candidate Efraín Alegre, representing the Concretación National Coalition, said his party campaign is not against the National Republican Association, also known as the Colorado Party, but against the dirty money coming from organized crime. He categorically said that ruling party's candidate for president is part of the Paraguayan mafia, and he and his running mate both had open judicial processes in Brazil, Colombia, and the U.S. Argentina remembers on Thursday the 20th anniversary of the elections that brought Peronist leader Nestor Kirchner to the presidency. On Twitter, the head of the cabinet of Minister Agustin Rossi asserted that Nestor opened a way and set the north. Rossi recalled the events related to the elections on April 27, 2003 and highlighted the importance of the mandate exercise by Kirchner between May the 25th of that year and December the 10th, 2007, as well as the two consecutive terms of Cristina Fernandez from 2007 to 2015. In Ecuador, a new phase of the impeachment process against President Guillermo Lasso for the alleged crimes of embezzlement came to a close. On Wednesday, in the Oversight Commission of the National Assembly, the cycle of appearances of the stage of charges and the discharge of evidence culminates as part of the impeachment process against the Ecuadorian president. The Assemblywoman of the Citizen Revolution, Viviana Velos, declared that all the evidence present and evaluated during the day the responsibility of President Lasso. In Guatemala, several activists, indigenous peoples, and worshipers commemorate the 25th anniversary of Bishop Juan Jose Gerardi's death, assassinated after rebelling crimes against humanity committed during the Civil War from the 1960 to the 1996. During Mass celebrated in the capital, Guatemala City, Archbishop Oscar Julio Vayan recalled the late bishop as a martyr of peace and just causes. Archbishop Vayan added that Gerardi brought to build a more just and decent society and sought peace through truth and justice.
We are excited especially because there are people who still remember the legacy of Gerardi Roman Catholic Bishop Juan Jose Gerardi Conedera, who remembered Gerardi as the man who worked for the truth. Today we have remembered his life a lot.
In Haiti, a police crackdown on criminal gangs is underway. In Port-au-Prince, police has confirmed that they have solved over 20 kidnapped cases and seized illegal weapons. Haitian police spokesman Gary Desrour said that 4 assaults, rifles, 3 3 9mm pistols, ammunition, 35 cell phones, and communication radios were seized during an operation in the country's capital. The police also confiscated memory cards, digital keys, and 3 vehicles. Moreover, they have also announced the rescue of 25 people who had been kidnapped. Let's take a very short break now, but remember you can now follow us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, in which you will be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. The President of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, offered on Wednesday a first message to the population after being infected with COVID-19 to respond to speculations about his health condition.
As President of Mexico, I have the responsibility to inform you about my state of health. I have already done so, but anyway, as there has been speculation, it is important to tell you that I'm well. I have COVID.
Likewise, the Mexican president explained that although he had a crisis well in Mérida caused by a sudden drop in his blood pressure.
I was in Mérida and there I had a crisis because my blood pressure suddenly dropped. And while I was in a meeting with military engineers evaluating the Mayan train and with other public servants, I kind of fell asleep.
On Thursday, the non-governmental organizations opened marches rescue 45 asylum seekers in the central Mediterranean Sea near the Italian island of Lampedusa. The NGO confirmed that a crew of its sailing yacht Astral had rescued a boat with 45 people in it, including 9 women, 10 minors, and a baby. Open Arms distributed life jackets while waiting for the group to be transferred to an island Coast Guard vessel to take them to the safe harbor. Likewise, Astral also assisted a first boat with 38 asylum seekers that was near the coast of Lampedusa, southern Italy. On Wednesday, Ukraine commemorated the 37th anniversary of the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear power plant incident with several solemn ceremonies in the affected areas. On April 26, 1986, the fourth reactor of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine exploded, a catastrophe that contaminated an area of almost 140,000 square meters and generated a wave of radiation-related diseases in that territory. After the tragedy, the government of Cuba implemented a multidisciplinary plan in which hundreds of health and science workers participated and which made it possible to treat and rehabilitate some 26,114 patients in over 21 years, 84% of whom were children, mainly from Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. And now we continue with more on the Alba Games, as we had just had the last day of the men's and women's tournaments. After playing 9 rounds on the women's side, Venezuelan Anita Otazo won the gold medal after scoring a total of 7.5 points. The Nicaraguan Lilian Frufino with 7 points won a silver medal. The bronze medal went to Cuban Daniela Forjas Moreno with 6.5 points in total. On the men's tournament, gold and silver went to Venezuela by way of Felix Hinojosa with 7 points and Samir Escalona with 6.5 points. And the bronze medal went to Cuban female player Daniela Forjas Moreno with a total score of 6.5 points. On the other hand, in the weightlifting tournament celebrated in the Gymnasium of the Military Academy in Caracas, athletes in the 45 and 49 kilograms division competed with the following results. Starting with the 45 kilograms division, Venezuelan Roselis Quintana climbed to the top of the podium with a total of 166 kilograms. Her compatriot Victoria Tovar won the silver medal with a 58 kilograms for a total of 134 kilograms, and the bronze medal went to the 132 kilograms of the Cuban Talia Castillo. Meanwhile, in the 49 kilograms division, Venezuela's Carly Montilla won the gold medal with a total of 175 kilograms. Montilla also won the silver medal in the snatch with 76 kilograms, being surpassed only by the Russian Isabella Santina, who won the gold medal with a snatch of 77 kilograms. And on Thursday, in the 5th Alba Games, the Venezuelan delegation leads the medal tally after 6 days of competitions. The host team determines the tournament with a total of 159 gold, 165 silver and 137 bronze medals, while Cuba, which participates in 24 of the 33 disciplines of the competitive program, has 42 gold, 28 silver and 37 bronze medals. The third place in the medal tally by nations is occupied by Russia, which is making its debut in this type of sporting event and has so far obtained 12 gold, 8 silver and 3 bronze medals. Although the Russian delegation also only registered 48 athletes for the 2023 Alba Games edition. On the other hand, it should be noted that Nicaragua and Bolivia have won 5 gold medals each, and that of the 12 countries that have competed in the Alba Games, only 5 of them have been able to obtain gold medals. On teleSUR English continues to grow. You can now tuning in from 33 different African countries through SURSAT. Dial 461 and join our Latin American alternative broadcast. From financial break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. In Sudan, the evacuation of civilians is progressing on Thursday while the clashes continue between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces after leaving at least 512 dead and more than 4,000 wounded. Hundreds of citizens are evacuated in buses and other vehicles to Egypt from northern Sudan. Since fighting broke out on April the 15th, foreign governments from all concerned corners of the world have organized convoys by road, planes and boats to get their people out of Sudan, while thousands of citizens have been forced to flee overland to neighboring countries.
I asked Burhan and Hemeti to end the war today because the Sudanese people are suffering and do not deserve it. And I asked them to sit at a negotiating table and solve their problems because this is their own conflict, not that of the Sudanese people. God will judge in this life and the next.
The death toll at a ranch in Kenya owned by the pastor who is accused of ordering his followers to starve themselves reached 90 on Tuesday. The authorities arrested another co-leader involved in the case. The information was released by the police after the recovery of at least 17 more bodies, while confirming that numbers of people rescued had increased to 34. On the other hand, the Red Cross reported that there are about 213 people missing, a figure that is expected to increase. Pastor Paul Mackenzie, who heads the Good News International Church is accused of luring his followers to ranch near the town of Malindi, where he allegedly told them to fast to death in order to meet Jesus before the burning in shallow graves spread across his land. Former CEO of South Africa's state-owned electricity company Eskom informed on Wednesday that the company is losing an average of $55 million a month due to the corruption. In a remote interview with a preliminary committee on public accounts, Andrew de Jorde confirmed his statements and said the figure was only a conservative estimate based on his assessments of the Eskom losses that has come to his attention. The former high executive also said the company is burdened with debts and unable to produce enough power for the country's energy crisis. China's foreign ministry announced on Wednesday that its country will send a delegation to Ukraine to try to resolve the conflict with Russia. The announcement was after a telephone conversation between Chinese President Xi Jinping and his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky. The note said the Chinese president emphasized that dialogue and negotiations were the only able way out of the crisis in the Slavic country, and that there were no winners in a nuclear war. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs informed that China will send a government special representative for Eurasian affairs to Ukraine and other countries to carry out an in-depth dialogue with all sides on the political statements of the Ukraine crisis. In this context, at a press conference by China's foreign ministry held shortly after the call, the main points of the call were read out in which China's neutrality and its advocacy for the peace agreements stood out.
Mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity is the political foundation of China-Ukraine relations. The two sides need to look to the future, view and handle bilateral relations from a long-term perspective, carry forward the tradition of mutual respect and sincerity, and take the China-Ukraine strategic partnership forward. China's readiness to develop relations with Ukraine is consistent and clear-cut. No matter how the international situation evolves, China will work with Ukraine to advance mutually beneficial cooperation. China did not create the Ukraine crisis, nor is it a party to the crisis. As a permanent member of the UN Security Council and a responsible major country, China would not sit idly by, nor would it add oil to the fire, still less exploit the situation for self-gains. There is no winner in nuclear wars. All relevant parties must stay calm and exercise restraint, truly act in the interest of their own future and that of humanity, and jointly manage the crisis. With rational thinking and voices now on the rise, it is important to seize the opportunity and build up favorable conditions for the political settlement of the crisis.
We have come to the end of this brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also use us on our socials from Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram as well. For TeleSUR English, I'm from the South, I'm Ana Marrero, and thank you for watching.